So you've finished your project and you've exported your master copy. Now it's time to back up your project for archiving. The client is happy but is likely to make changes in the future. We've all had those clients where they go, we want version 2 or update it for 2025. So it's crucial to back up your projects. First thing you need to do is rename your project timeline. Rename the final timeline to final. There's nothing worse than coming back to a project and going, which timeline am I working on? Then go to File and Media Management. This will open up a window and it will have 3 panes. To export the entire project, this will export all of the media and all of the timelines. The Timelines tab, which will export just specific timelines and the related media on those timelines, and to export individual clips. For this purpose, we're going to use the Timelines page. There are a number of settings on this page. You have to set whether you want to export the clips as originals or transcode them into a different format. For example, if you were working in, say, a RAW format or a format that wasn't easy to edit, you could transcode them in this stage as well to export them so you could have easier edits in the future. You can also export it just as the originals, so that it will look just as the originals when you brought them into the project. Then you need to set the destination. This is where the files are going to be saved. I'm going to save them to the desktop for this example, but save them somewhere safe. Then select your timelines. You can select one timeline or multiple timelines in this case. This is where it's important to select the timeline you've marked as final. If you have alternative timelines you want to export as well, you can do that here. Then you have a variety of options for compressing the files or reducing the file sizes. You can export that entire clips, or you can export just the media that's been used plus a little bit on each side. At the bottom of this pane it will say how big the expected file is going to be. So you can use these tools and it will adjust in real time so you can gauge how much space you want to use up. If you have a long take with lots of individual cuts, you can consolidate those into one long video clip by clicking this box. Finally, click Export. Now you've exported your project, all your files for this project can be found in one folder. This folder can be shared with the client or stored in the cloud. Remember, your files aren't truly backed up unless they're in 2 different places and have 2 copies in 2 separate locations. I like to put them on a memory stick if it's a project that I know that the client will come back to me, and then I know that that memory stick is a separate copy that I've got safe. All the files within the folder are in the original formats if you've done the same as me as they were brought in. So there's no proprietary formatting here unless the originals were, of course. So if you wanted to move to a different editing software, say you wanted to recreate the project in a different editor, you can do this. So now you want to reopen this project. To do this, double click on the DRT timeline file in the folder. This will reopen the project in Davinci Resolve. Once the Davinci Resolve is loaded up, it will prompt you if the timeline is at a different frame rate to the project default, if you want to change it or not. After this, it took about 30 seconds for me to load up this project into the program. It brings up all of the media in from the folder, including the layering, the audio and the titles. So you can get going just where you left off. The files are linked directly to the folder. So they're not linked to the original if they're on your machine, they're linked to the exported ones. So if you do have it on a memory stick or something like that, you may wish to bring it onto a computer before doing this step. If the files show up as unlinked media, click on the unlinked media and then locate where that folder is and then relink them. It's a good idea at this point to save the project. It will start as an untitled project, so save it as something sensible.